All right, guys, today we have a exhaust cam that we will be locking out with NRW's Lockout. We chose the 109, and this is everything you need in order to do the exhaust cam lockout. What this does, if you can look, there is a spring you can see over here. If you look, there is a spring. You see the corner edge right there? That is what holds it in place. So it's a spring that's coiled up inside, and it's controlled by oil pressure, which is the central valve, which is this over here. Actually, I have one over here. That's our new one. This is a used one over here. So oil pressure goes in, and as you can see, it's oil actuated, and there's a little filter screen on them. Most of the time they get clogged up with junk on them, and that's why it causes some issues, or inside the little valve gets loose. So if you shake them, you hear some rattling. This one does not, so this one's still good. But either way, they're one-time use only, and we replace them. This is the part number for it. They are not cheap, guys. My local Toyota didn't have it, so they were on back order through Toyota, so I had to get it through BMW, and unfortunately this is my cost. They are not cheap. So you walk in, you're paying $223. Also, don't forget, you need the DI seals. This is the part number for the DI seals. They are also not cheap. They're $13 a pop for my cost. It's about $17. You're looking at a hefty $100. Anyways, those are the part numbers in order to do this job. Don't forget, you need new DI bolts and all new 8 DI bolts. And you also need the 2 high pressure fuel pump bolts. Those are one-time use only. They're stretch bolts, and they also have built-in Loctite on the threads of them. So yes, so let's get to this. Let's tear this apart, open it up. We'll throw the lockout in there, and I'll show you guys how this goes. All right, so this is the inside of it, so you can see how this works. This whole mechanism works. It literally moves based on oil pressure. There we go. The outside of it rotates. It's a little hard to do one-handed, but we're gonna put the lockout over here on this side. So this is where you're gonna regulate how much movement there is, because remember, the exhaust cam is what controls your high pressure fuel pump. So you want as little movement as possible, but you still want some of that movement just so that drivability, you still have it, and you really don't have any of those check engine lights because the car's trying to cease a movement, the engine's trying to cease a movement. But you don't want to fully lock it out. You want to minimize how much movement there is. And it goes right here. If I could do this one-handed. Boom, just like that. That's all it is. It's just preventing how much movement there is. So you still have that drivability, but at the same time, you still have maximum power for your fuel system. Now the tricky part comes. If you notice, these bolts, 2 of them are short, 2 of them are long. They have a little nipple on them. If you can see the difference, these 2 on the opposite side are what control, or actually what hold the spring, that clock spring that's in there. So that's gonna be the fun part, trying to engage it and lock it.
3 days later.
And that is it, guys. Now she's all put back together. So easiest way to get the clock spring back in, you get a pry bar. There's obviously a smaller version, and you literally just pop this upper cap off. So you're gonna leave 3 bolts in place, and you're gonna leave this one out where it says exhaust EX. You leave that one out, but let the nipple stick out just a tiny bit. I wish I took a video of it, but honestly I didn't. It's so very quick to do. And then you just leave the other 3 bolts in place. You literally, with the screwdriver, you literally just push this clock spring all the way back until it falls right into the nipple, and that's all it is. And make sure everything is very, very, very clean, guys. Make sure this mating surface is clean as well. You don't want, preferably not want any lube, because it's a dry friction fit. You don't want it really to back out. You back out, it's a real big issue. So don't put any oil on it, my suggestion, and only on the threads of the bolt. But on the mating surface, I wouldn't personally. If you want to, go ahead, but I personally wouldn't. Just on the threads only, just so it goes into the cam very nice and easy. And that is it, guys. I hope this little tech tip on how to lock out your exhaust cam gear for this applies for B58, S58, maybe B48 also, because I believe they're practically the same engine, just with 2 less cylinders. So it should be the same for both, for all 3 essentially. But yes, this is how you lock out your exhaust cam gear for B58, S58 in a very quick, simple manner. This probably shouldn't take you more than, if it's your first time, maybe 30 minutes. But yes, this is a very quick and easy tip that is needed to make over 1,000 horsepower, 1,100 horsepower, in that range, to maintain as maximum DI volume to your injectors as possible. Guys, one more tech tip that I always suggest for you guys: if you can, get these jumbo sized Q-tips and clean your DI bores really well, because you will always find some schmutz in there. You can see, you don't want any of that grime getting stuck on your DIs. You don't want it to mess up anything. You'll be astonished at the amount of crap you will be picking up. Like this one's pretty dirty actually. Oh yeah, there's actually some good amount on there. Pretty hard to see, but there is. Let me see if I can. All that dirtiness. So just take your time, polish it up. Don't be in a rush. Do it right the first time. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. Always appreciate the like, share, subscribe. And we're going to get back to this on this car and time it all back together.